Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Lady Rose of Goddess Garage, and I'm here today to talk to you about Vervain. It's an herb. It's one of my magical herbs that I sell on my Etsy shop. So feel free to pop over there and order up yourself a bottle. Mine are specially conjured, so it helps boost your spells. And I wanted to give you some history, some information about Vervain. So it's actually, if you're reading old spell books or have old texts or anything like that, it actually was often listed as not devil's claw, dragon's claw. So that's the equivalent of what they mean by Vervain, because often they wrote in code about what herbs they were using in their spells. For those that really had spell books, a lot of women that went to the stake to be burned at the stake were not actually witches. But Vervain is actually known in old texts as dragon's claw. So just to let you know about that, it actually is a very, very old medicinal herb used for a lot of things, and it dates right back to the ancient Egyptians and Greeks and Romans, and it was kind of known for being a cure-all. It cured everything. But I'm going to go into some of the magical uses of Vervain. Now, it's also connected with Isis, the goddess Isis, and also connected with the great goddess, the mother of the universe, goddess of magic and the mysteries of life and death. It was sort of one of the bigger, more connected kind of herbs. Thus the reason it's also a dragon's claw, because it's also very powerful. It's connected to the underworld as well. And when you buy the package, you get this little information thing. The video gives you more information, but you have a lot of information right here on your little card that you get. And I'm hoping to maybe do a mailers club soon so that you'll be able to add herb knowledge to your book of shadows, or just to your journals, or your knowledge, whatever you want to add it to, kind of thing. So it keeps to keep it in your home. You keep it in your home to encourage wealth and peace, which is always a good thing. The Druids actually ritually harvested it usually in the early part of August. So what they did, they actually measured it by the stars as to when they could harvest this. So they did it when the dog star, as it's called, is visible. So what the dog star is it's part of a constellation called Canis Major, which is Latin for the big dog or the greater dog, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing. So that's the reason it's called, the constellation overall is called the dog star. It's actually when Cyrus appears in the sky, and it's he's in conjunction with the sun. So what they do is, as long as the sun and the moon are not in the sky and Cyrus is there, the dog star, that's his sort of nickname because he's part of a bigger constellation, then that's when they harvest it. And usually it's the early part of August, because the dog star actually starts to appear in the sky between July 3rd, the beginning of July, somewhere around there, till about August 11th. And it's part of that, like I said, Canis Major constellation. And that's where we get the saying, the dog days of summer. Because the dog days of summer are the hottest days of summer, which is when this dog star is visible in the sky. Outside of that, we can't see it. So we only see it on the hottest days of our summer in the northern hemisphere. So that's where we got that dog days of summer phrase. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So the Roman soldiers actually carried this into battle. The Romans actually used it to cleanse their altars, cleanse and purify their altars, because it's considered a purifying herb as well. The Druids would make a magical drink of it. So this is the thing that connected them to the dead. That's why it's also associated with the underworld as well. They'd add a pinch of it to their cup of wine, and it would allow them to be able to communicate with the dead. Messengers also carried it, like back in the day when you had messengers that would run from kingdom to kingdom or leader to leader or whatever. They often wore a wreath of Vervain because it was sort of a proof that what their message was true, because sometimes they get questioned and, you know, never don't shoot the messenger kind of thing, because the messengers didn't like to bring bad news. But if they were bringing bad news, they like to have that wreath of Vervain so that whoever was receiving the message would know that their message was one of truth, and hopefully it would help aid in the protection of the messenger, because it was actually quite a dangerous game to be a messenger, quite a dangerous profession to be a messenger back in the day. Also too, like I said, it was truth for the messengers. There was something else I was going to tell you about this. What was it now? It was a cure-all. Oh, it's a great unblocker. The next herb I'm going to talk about too is also a great unblocker. But it's also great for like depression, PTSD. It's supposed to help with war. That's why like the memories of war and the trauma that comes with war. That's why many Roman soldiers brought it into battle, not only for protection, but also for getting rid of that utter negativity, that depression, that despair that can come with war. Well, that was the other thing I was going to mention, is it's supposed to knock out negativity, and including keeping you safe, and it's a very protective herb, keeping you safe from demonic forces and evil and things like that. That's what I was going to tell you. It's also inspiring for artists and writers, poets. It's great for unblocking as far as creative blocks go. It clears stagnant energy. It can cleanse auras, so it's very good for cleansing auras. If you're a Reiki worker, it's a very good thing to have. You can just sprinkle some on the bed when your client's on the bed, or in the chair, when your client's in the chair, around the chair, like maybe they can sit on it. You can also burn it if you want. Burn it in a charcoal disc, or around a candle. If you have a special Reiki candle that you're lighting for this client, you can burn that, and it helps to cleanse their aura. You can put it in a smudge pot, like one of the shells, and burn it as part of a smudge if you're cleansing the aura as well. It opens up psychic channels too, so it has that connection of psychic ability, and encouraging that and unblocking it. And it opens communication with people overall. So it's a great one to carry with you if you're like on the job and you want to communicate with a coworker or with a boss, or you have a meeting where you have to do some speaking, or you want to do some speaking because you want to speak up about something. Carry this with you. This will give you the courage and open the channels for other people to be listening to what you have to say. So it's not only good for humans, but it's also good for spiritual beings. Like I said, the Druids themselves would put it in a cup of wine, just a pinch, not the whole thing, just a pinch into a cup of wine, and it would open them up to be able to talk to the dead. But any spiritual beings, you can burn it as well. You don't have to drink it. You can do a ritual bath with it. You can burn it on a candle or charcoal, or just have it on your altar. Open it, of course, to release some of that magic. To allow you to be able to communicate with spiritual beings, past loved ones, if you want to call them in, angels, fairies, that sort of thing. If you want to connect with that kind of energy, the dragon's claw or Vervain will help with that. It is used in sex and love rituals as well, because it does help to open communication channels. So it's very good for any kind of communication. It can also be used for legal issues, like if you're getting letters from a neighbor's lawyer, or if you're going to court. sprinkle a little on the legal documents, and it'll help open those channels of communication that might be needed in order to get your case across and help you win. So you can use it for that too. It can also help detach you from unrequited love. So it helps to disengage and help you to cut the cords of love that is never going to be returned anyway. So if you want to release that, if you're pining for someone, if you're, obsessing over someone and they're simply not that into you kind of thing, you can use Vervain as a way to cut those cords and to cut that sort of obsession that you're starting to maybe have, or that pining, if you're constantly thinking about them, that sort of thing. It can help cut that energy so that you're sort of able to move past it and move on with your life and allow a true love to come into your life. In the old language of flowers, because Vervain are actually little blue flowers. They have little blue flowers on their bushes, right? So this is, so in the language of flowers, and there is an old language of flowers. So in the Vervain world, or in the language of flowers world, Vervain means enchantment. So if you want to enchant anything, it's really great, like I said, for altars, but also for your tools. You can use it in a wash, put a little bit in a water to wash your tools, or for anointing oil, you can add a little Vervain, and it will help to enchant your tools as well. Or you can use it anywhere else you want some enchantment in your life. So that's my little bit on Vervain, and there's some extra knowledge for you. You can find me here on YouTube, and thank you for subscribing. Please click the bell so you know when any other herb or other magical videos are up. You'll get the notification for that. You can also support me by following me on Instagram at Lady Rose Tarot, or on Facebook at Goddess Garage Tarot Parlour. I'll put the links below so you don't have to memorize any of this, but the higher beings have said I must say this part. Or you can also go over to my Etsy shop and purchase your own bottle of Vervain, or any of my other herbal mixtures and magical mixtures I have over there. Again, I'll put the link down for you so that you can do that. I'll also put the tip cup there if you just want to shoot me the price of a coffee as support and a thank you for sharing this information and allowing me to continue to put these videos up for you guys so that you can continue on your path of knowledge of magic and spiritual well-being. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I really, truly appreciate it. Reach out if there's any other herbs that you want to know about, or if there's any other magical questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer them if I know. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I'm always happy to share my knowledge with you guys. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.